Hey there, yogi. Welcome to another Roots of Peace Yoga video. Today's practice, Be in Your Body, is just that. It's being in your body. I'm just gonna bail on us yet again. Today's practice is fairly short. It's just a time for you to free up your headspace, get down into your body, and focus on where you are, how you're moving, how you're breathing, and showing some appreciation for some parts of you that maybe you don't think about very often, like your feet, top of your head, things like that. You only need your mat, comfy clothes. I have a bolster if you want to slide it under your legs during half corpse pose, but that's really all you would need a bolster for today. So settle in, get ready, and I will see you in just a few seconds. Oh, hello again. I would like you to start in a comfortable seated position. So crisscross applesauce, maybe you're gonna do butterfly. Full disclosure, I have a weird knee situation going on. So if I'm moving in a different way, don't mirror me, do your thing and what's best for your body, as I'm going to do what's best for my body today. So comfortable seat. And take a moment to rotate your thighs outward just a little bit so that you can really ground down into your sit bones. You can close your eyes down or soften your gaze. And as you inhale, roll your shoulders up, squishing towards your ears. And as you exhale, release your shoulders and your shoulder blades down your back. So today's video, as I said in the intro, we're trying to be in our body. So starting that way, again, eyes are closed or gaze is nice and soft. Take a moment to root into your sit bones and feel the pressure between your bottom and the earth. And now notice your breath. Notice how it flows in and out as you use your inhalation and your exhalation to push all that prana into your body. And take the next 2 breaths just to completely watch and be with yourself. With your eyes still closed, I want you to imagine your breath flowing in like beautiful crystal clear water that's rinsing and purifying you, rinsing out your lungs. And as you exhale, that water is coming back out and it's taking with it any toxicity, any ama, any morbid toxic waste is what ama is. But anything that isn't serving you, maybe you are struggling with some emotions, which is what's going on for me right now. So let that air, let your breath flow, be that cool crystal water that goes in, cleans up, comes out, purifying, releasing. Take 3 more breaths this way, imagining that water, your prana, your life force, your breath, flowing and working for you, being with you. You can take your hands behind your hips and open your eyes if you wish, or you can keep them closed if you know what I'm up to. Drop your hands back, palms flat into the earth as you press your heart towards the ceiling. Gaze is high, head is dropped back just a little bit, but you're still rooted through your sit bones. So focusing on opening the front body here. Notice your position, if you need to make any micro changes, things like that. Feel that breath, expand the belly, traveling down. Inhale to come forward. Stay for your out breath, focusing on resting and therapeutic movement in this practice. Breathe in, take the arms up and overhead, reach to the sky. Exhale, to lean to the right, lean to the right and look to the left. Still rooted into those sit bones. They won't be quite even. You'll have a little bit more weight on the right side. Notice how your shoulders feel as you take deep breaths in. If they're a little tense, maybe you loosen your reach, modifying to fit your body's needs today. Inhale to center. Exhale, leaning to the left and looking to the right. Same story over here. Feel into your sit bones. Notice the weight. Try to keep it even, but it won't be all the way even. Adjust your arms as necessary so you're not putting too much stress in your shoulders. Come back to center, deep breath in as you reach up. Exhale, drop the hands back down to the mat. You're going to take your right hand to your left knee, and as you inhale, thumb will come up. Flip your wrist at the top and exhale to drop your pinky and release your right hand behind your right hip. We're just going to do one more this way. Inhale, thumbs coming up, carve that line. Exhale, pinky brings it around back to the knee, and then release the hand off to the right side, taking it to the other side now. Left hand to right knee. Inhale, thumb comes up, reach and stretch. Exhale, rotate, drop the pinky. Ooh, my shoulder popped. Releasing stuff, that's great. Drop behind your left hip, and then inhale, back up you go with the thumb. Exhale, pinky's coming down to the right knee. Perfect. And now, once you're here, again, finding that comfortable seated position, stay grounded in your sit bones. We're going to do some pelvic circles. So imagining that the top of your head is like a pencil and you're trying to draw a circle on your ceiling. So moving slowly, mindfully, feeling into the body and flexing around the spine. So we're loosening up the spine, which is your communication highway, and it's a good thing to keep healthy for your nervous system. And weird but fun fact, if you suffer from, we're gonna get real with your body. If you happen to suffer from mild constipation from time to time, mild, not severe, these work wonders because you're moving things around and you're moving it like people don't move this way. So your body is able to squeeze things out a little bit better. So now take your circles the opposite way, feeling into this again. Notice your sit bones, notice where your spine travels. And again, imagining that you're drawing a circle from the top of your head onto the ceiling. Take one more all the way around, come back to center. You can also do these in a chair. So if you're at work or something like that, maybe you have to sit through a conference or a webinar, you can do these little circles. I've been finding that chair yoga is extremely beneficial because I'm in a chair a lot, and so I can do these little things. So this is actually a chair yoga move, which is why I brought up chair yoga. So yeah, if you're stuck in a chair sometimes, you can do these. We'll call them spinal circles. I think I call them pelvic circles, but that's something a little different. Okay, we are going to swoop our legs off to the side. Tabletop coming your way. And moving through a few cat-cows. Before you start your motion, check your positioning. Feel into where you are. So hands are spread, pressing to earth. Shoulders are over your wrists. Knees are under your hips. And you're neutral in your spine. So we have 4 natural curves in our spine. So taking a moment to just feel into those. Noticing your spine and how you are in tabletop, and then start your cat-cows. So breathing in to flex the pelvis up, breathing out to tilt the pelvis down. Digging into your spine here, really noticing how it shifts and bends. And notice what actions feel best for you. Not all yoga is comfortable, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be uncomfortable sometimes. Life isn't always sparkles and rainbows and fun things. So noticing what positions are a little uncomfortable for you. For me, when I press up into cat, this really works into my shoulder blades, and it doesn't necessarily feel good. There's a little bit of pain, not a ton, and so I know that if I go up too far, that's out of the range of motion my shoulders can take right now. So being with your body and knowing these things about yourself, wicked beneficial. Take one more. Then you can step to high plank. Holding here just for a moment to notice how your torso has engaged, how your core, front and back, has engaged to hold you in this position, and taking a moment to appreciate your body that it can hold you here. Now, back you go, send the hips high, down dog. Again, notice where you are. Notice what you have to do to be in the best down dog that you can be today. It may be a different down dog than yesterday. And so not taking comparisons in, we're here and that's all that we need to do right now. As you inhale, slowly step your feet to your hands, forward fold. In-breath, halfway lift. Oh, those hips are so tight. Exhale, drop to fold. Inhale, bend the knees, spring into the feet and come up, extended mountain. Take the arms wide on the way down, lead with the heart. Forward fold, halfway lift. Drop back down to fold, let your crown bow towards earth, slide up again for a half lift. Drop down to fold, crown is bowing. One more time this way, half lift. Crown's reaching forward, and now exhale, crown is bowing to earth. I see a lot of people looking down at the ground in their forward fold, which is okay, but this is a weird position for our neck, especially if you're a chronic texter. This is the opposite of what you're doing, so you may find that it's putting extra pressure on your neck. So releasing so that the crown is towards the floor, not your gaze. Holding your forward fold, 2 more breaths, feel into this. Deep bend in your knees. Half lift. Take your fold. Reach to extended. And as you exhale, cactus the arms, but not going too far down with your elbows. Sometimes we really drop in these. So keeping them fairly in line with your shoulders. Inhale up, so we're creating a little bit of tension. Exhale to drop, almost in line with the shoulders. Flex your fingers, press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, up you go. We're gonna take 2 more this way. So notice that goalpost versus when you sink the elbows, how there's more activation in your tri and biceps. Last one. Up you go, extended. Drop down to fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Step to high plank. Chaturanga all the way down to your belly, tucking your elbows best you can as you go. If you need to drop your knees, totally okay. Inhale for a cobra, not super big. Feel into your belly, how it's stretching and expanding. Exhale to release, and then move to your child's pose, which is gonna be high for me today because of my knee. Sink into your child's pose. Being comfortable and allowing your head to go in a position that keeps your breath flowing, that keeps that prana moving in and out of the body. And now resting in your child's pose and coming back to the body. The reason for the focus on the body so much today, and well, every day when we do yoga, but it's such a good practice to have to stay out of your head. I've been struggling with that quite a lot lately. I've got a lot of irons in the fire, as I always do, but I've been really tracking how much I'm up in my head. And so take just a few breaths to think about, not judge, but to think about how often you're spinning your wheels, how much time you take to think about things that haven't necessarily happened. Maybe you're projecting some thoughts. And then come back to the breath. Come back into the body. Seeing if you can distinguish between the two and how it feels to be in your head versus in your heart and your body. As you inhale next, coming to puppy pose. So hips are going high, tail's reaching, heart's bowing. And notice what's happening in the body here, how the ribs are expanding and the forehead is grounded and pressing into earth. Shoulders are activated, hands are connected to the mat. Feel into all the things that are happening in this position. This is why we do the yoga, to connect and become more familiar with our bodies. As you inhale, back up to tabletop you go. And then extend your right leg out behind you, up on the ball of your foot. Lift it into the air and extend the left hand forward for sunbird. Press the ground away with your right hand so you're not collapsing into your shoulder. And holding here. Gaze is down, neck is neutral, spine is long. And exhale to drop back down to tabletop. Take a moment to shake the hips. Feel into that. It's fun to move the body in certain ways too. So maybe you need a little giggle, maybe you're gonna shake your tail out. Take the left leg back behind you, up on the ball of the foot. Lift it into the sky in line with the hip, toes down, and then the right hand reaches forward. Press the ground away again with the left hand. Don't collapse into your shoulder too much. Notice the belly, notice the left hip. What are things doing? How do they feel? And as you exhale, drop back down to tabletop. You're going to step to high plank. Take your down dog. And hold here for 3 breaths. So feel into where you are, shoulders sliding down the back, crown's heavy. Now inhale to hopper step, feet to hands, forward fold, half lift, take your fold, reach to extended, melt back down to fold, half lift, move to your fold, sink into the 4 corners of your feet evenly, catch your elbows, and hang heavy, heavy, heavy in ragdoll. So staying in your upside down, sway if that is what you are needing. We often say if that feels good, which is good, we want you to feel good, absolutely, that's why we yoga. But maybe there's a little uncomfortableness to the swing or to the stillness. So maybe you're feeling into that edge of discomfort just a little bit. Discomfort is how we grow. Growing is never painless. I've said this before, that's why they call it growing pains. So not looking for like actual hurt, but a little discomfort is good. It's good to move you out of your comfort zone and to expand who you are and to reach that higher self we talk about. One more breath in your upside down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Leave the right hand down, tent the fingers. Reach the left hand high to expand the upper back. So right shoulder is dropping towards the floor, left shoulder is reaching towards the sky, and your gaze is down at your right hand. You can also release the crown towards the head. That feels a little funky for me, but maybe it's good for you. Exhale, drop the left hand, and then inhale, right hand's gonna go high, left hand will stay down, and now feeling the shoulders switch. So the left shoulder is pulling towards the ground, and the right shoulder is reaching towards the sky. Exhale, drop the right hand forward, fold. Halfway lift. Move down to your fold. Rise to extended mountain. Carve the hands to heart center and then release them to the sides. Close the eyes down or soften the gaze. For your mountain pose, small bend in the knees. And now take time to go all the way down to the bottoms of your feet, your soles. And you can say it out loud, you can say it inwardly, but thank your feet. Thank your feet for carrying you, for balancing you, for anchoring you to this world. We often don't show enough appreciation to our feet. I'm extremely guilty of this. I don't think about my feet. Who does really? But think about all the places you've been with your feet, all you've accomplished with those sweet little tootsies you have. And show them some appreciation. You can say, thank you feet, I love you. Inward, outward, do your thing. And now take a moment to feel into your ankles. Maybe you're shifting slightly to feel into the rotation of that joint and how it can move. Your ankles also hold you up, they support you. We're showing some appreciation for the legs, so now moving into your calves. Notice how they're slightly activated. Your soleus muscle, that muscle that's connected to your bone, is helping you stay upright, and then your gastrocs, those big meaty parts of your calves, are also keeping you standing, keeping you sturdy. Take a moment to feel into your knees. Notice if they're inward turned or outward turned, and try to bring them to neutral. A lot of times we end up with knee problems because we've twisted them a little too much too often in a different position than they're neutral, which is what's going on for me right now. I sit cross-legged a lot when I work with my right knee over my left knee, and I've been noticing that this week, that that's probably why my knee is not feeling so good, and I've went past its range of motion a few too many times. Come up into your thighs, so your hamstrings and your quads. Just notice how they feel. Maybe you're giving them a slight squeeze to activate them, to let them know that you appreciate them, that you know they're there, and you acknowledge them. And now lastly, but not leastly, coming into your hips. Your hips take a lot of pressure, they take a lot of stress, they take a lot of movement. And so again, acknowledging your hips for all that they do, for all their internal and external rotations, and for their strength. Take 2 more breaths in your mountain pose, acknowledging your lower half and all the strength that lies within, and all you can accomplish because of your hips, legs, feet. Inhale to come up, spring gently into extended mountain. Exhale, drop to fold, eyes are open. You can keep them closed too. Sometimes people practice with their eyes fully closed. Halfway lift. Move down to fold. Step to high plank or hop. And chaturanga down to your belly. Moving into cobra swim. So take the arms wide, tent the fingers. Hips are into the mat, but we're not pressing too hard. We don't want to squeeze our glutes. We want to keep them as neutral as we possibly can. So inhale to come up, a little or a lot. Exhale to drop. Staying with it and feeling into the parts of you that are moving and flexing. 2 more rounds. And now, doing it however you would like to, you're just going to flip over into your corpse pose. Today's practice is pretty short. It's snowing, it's freezing outside, so this room is cold. So we're gonna keep it a little short, but this is a good, like if you have a lunch break and you're just trying to decompress a little bit. So moving into your corpse pose. And the corpse pose that works best for you. So you staying in your comfortable position, and I'm going to rise. So maybe you're laying flat on your back. Maybe you're taking the fetal position, and that is okay as well. Maybe you've got butterfly legs. Maybe you're gonna tuck a bolster under your legs to elevate the feet. And as you settle, come back to the breath if you're not there already. Close your eyes. And so we focused on the legs. We're gonna take a moment to focus on our face and our head. So everything from the collarbone up. So coming into your breath and feeling your breath, how it feels, the sensation as it goes in your nostrils and travels down your throat. So keeping the awareness from the collarbone up. Being with the breath, maybe you're in a warm room, so the air is warm as you take it in. Maybe you're in a cool room and the breath is cool as you take it in. Not meeting it with resistance either way if something's a little uncomfortable, but opening and accepting and loving that breath as it keeps you going. Now taking your awareness to your jaw. So softening, unclench your teeth. Notice the space between your molars and your teeth, where your tongue is, the taste that's in your mouth. Again, not attaching if you have a not so great taste in your mouth. Noticing, observing, tracking, taking notes. Yoga is the way that we blueprint out our body, we blueprint out our emotions and our soul, and we really tap into this beautiful body we have and this extraordinary being that we are. Moving into your cheekbones, if you're on your back or if you're on your side, notice how your skin is pulling, what gravity is doing to the skin on your face. If you're on your back, maybe it's sliding back, feel into that. If you're on your side, it's sliding one way, feel into that. And now move to your eyes. Feel your eyes resting in their sockets. Heavy, restoring, soft. Move to your ears, acknowledging that they're there and expressing gratitude for your hearing. That you are able to hear a loved one's laugh, hear a fur baby's bark or meow if you have cats, or birds, chirps, whatever it is. But being grateful for all that you can hear. Sometimes we don't hear very nice things, and that's okay too. Sometimes there are things that we need to hear and we need to acknowledge those messages. And sometimes we hear things we don't need to hear. And so releasing those messages that we know are wrong and that don't suit who we truly are. Move to your third eye, that space in between your eyes, your forehead. And noticing, feeling, being with. Moving to one more point, crown chakra, which I've talked about a lot today. It's your connection to spirit, your connection to universe, to God, however you want to frame that out. That's for you to do. But notice that space, notice that spot. We don't think about the top of our heads very often either. And so knowing that that chakra is your connection to your higher self, higher power, all the good things. Take 3 more breaths, fully encapsulated in your body, noticing the parts that lift and settle, the points that are connected to earth. And if there are any tense spots, trying to release and breathe them out. Even thinking about it can be serving, even if it doesn't feel that way. Take one more moment to rest where you are and fully appreciate your body. Even if things aren't necessarily working the way you would like them to, your body is still performing at an excellent level that is mind-blowing. All these things are happening that keep our heart beating, that keep our lungs breathing. So accept where you are as best you can and appreciate your beautiful body. When you're ready, comfortable seated position waiting for you, or you can stay in your restful position. Hands at heart center wherever you are. Unless you're lying on your belly, then that might be a little tricky. Eyes closed or open. Thank you so much for your time, for this little shorty practice, just to get us out of our headspace where things can get a little wicked crazy, down into our body where we can process and feel and be here in the present. With all the love and so much light. Namaste.